Can Northern Iowa beat Oklahoma State in a dual meet? That's the question right now. That's the question many wrestling fans are asking right now. And I'll give you the answer. The answer is yes, absolutely. UNI can absolutely beat Oklahoma State this Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern. But the question is how? What is the path? I'm going to get into all that. I'm going to break this duel down, all 10 weights, and explain to you why I think UNI's got a shot here. First off, let's talk about the sure things. What are the things, and there are no sure things, so you can write that already, but what are the things that are very, very likely to happen? Well, on the Oklahoma State side, you look at heavyweight Wyatt Hendrickson. He is a massive, massive favorite against almost everyone, including UNI's very tough Lance Runyon. But Wyatt is a huge, huge favorite in that match. And at 174, Oklahoma State is a huge favorite with Dean Hamady against Jared Sima. Sima, also very tough, but Dean is just a couple rungs higher on the ladder in terms of results this year. Okay, and for UNI, where are their strong advantages? Well, you look at Parker Keckheisen at 184. He is, I think, 4-0 against Dustin Ply, and that's quite an achievement. Two of those matches he won by bonus points, including in the NCAA finals. So you figure a strong lead there for Parker Keckheisen. So you got one strong lead for UNI at 184, two for Oklahoma State. So how can UNI make up the gap? Where are the matches? What's the path for UNI? Well, you look at 125. And on the one hand, it's a number 4 Spratley versus number 20 Trevor Anderson. You say huge, huge favorite for Spratley. And I agree. On paper, he's the favorite, right? He's probably the pick. But they wrestled, the last time these two wrestled, it was a 1-point match, right? Anderson rode him out the entire third period. So the path is there. They've had very close matches. Spratley coming off a loss. Maybe there's some, maybe it's a bounce back match. That's what JD thought on FRL. And I think that's definitely a possibility. But you can't discount the fact that the last time these two wrestled, it was a 1-point match. Then you go to 133, where, again, you've got Reese Whitcraft or Cale Hughes. I'm not sure who they're going to use here. I would expect to see Cale Hughes, but I don't know. And they've got two really good options at Oklahoma State. And then it's Farber for UNI. But you look at Farber, he's taken some losses, sure. This is a guy with a win over Jacob Van D, who just beat Braden Davis. A win over Nick Bouzakis, who beat Reese Whitcraft this year, right? So he has reached up and beat some really good wrestlers. And I think this is one of those matches where UNI is probably going to need if they want to pull off the upset against Oklahoma State. Then you go to 141 where you say, okay, Tegan Jameson versus Cale Happel. This is number 4 versus number 5. Jameson actually ranked higher, but Happel is, I think, 3-0 against Jameson. He's won every meeting. If it's not 3, it may be 4, but I'm pretty sure it's 3. And that can't be discounted. Matchups matter, and the matchup, for whatever reason, really works for Cale Happel. Now, if you go back and watch their Big 12 match a year ago, this was a super close match. They both had great opportunities to score, and it was Happel with a late double leg that won that match. But at the end of it, Happel's been able to win it every time, and for UNI to win this duel, Cale Happel has to come through here and beat Jameson for the 4th time. Then you go up to 149, where I think Carter Young is going to be back for the Cowboys, and he's taking on Colin Real Buto. Now, it's a 12 versus 13. Young's 12th, Real Buto's 13th. But Young is a big, big favorite in this match. These two wrestled at Vegas, and Carter Young was all over Real Buto's legs. Left-handed single, right side, all kinds of different leg attacks. There's 4 takedowns to none. Real Buto never really close to a score. So if Carter Young brings that level of offense to it, it's going to be a tough, tough match for Real Buto. Now, do I expect it to be a major like it was the last time? Absolutely not. Real Buto in a tournament versus a dual setting, things tighten up, and Real Buto will, I think, do a good job and at minimum keep it close. Maybe he threatens to win, but I think this is probably Carter Young's match to lose here, so that he's a favorite there. 57, UNI's got a favorite in Ryder Downey, but Caleb Fish is no slouch. He's coming off a nice win, and he had a nice win against Ed Scott at NC State. He's wrestling well, but Downey is more proven at this point. He's been really solid. He beat Antrell Taylor, has had a number of nice showings so far this year. So you got to feel good about Ryder Downey in that match. And then at 65, this is a little similar to 25, where you got number 6 versus number 12. Amin is ranked 6th, Thompson ranked 12th. Big favorite Cam? I'm not going that far. This was a 4-1 sudden victory match this year. Okay, so it went to overtime. So Cam went 7 minutes, couldn't get an offensive score on this guy. So if it's that close, that's well within the margins. And we see crazy stuff happens in duel all the time. Thompson getting a takedown, not that crazy. So this is a match that's game for UNI, although it's uphill. 74, I've already talked about. Hamady is a favorite here. The question is, does he or does he not get bonus against Jared Sima? Similarly for Parker Kekheisen, we think he'll win. Dustin Plott is really good, but I think Kekheisen gets it done, probably by decision once more. 97, very, very interesting matchup with Wyatt Volker taking on Luke Serber. Now, these two split. UNI's Volker won at Big 12s by pin, but it was a really close competitive match. Volker out-scrambled Serber, which you would think would be Serber's advantage, but in this instance, it was Volker. And this is a huge one. This is probably a must-win for UNI. They're going to need this match because I think the bonus advantage is going to be well on Oklahoma State's side. So with that in mind, they're going to probably need 197 for sure because you get to heavyweight and it's Wyatt Hendrickson. And this is the closer, right? This is the guy you want up for the last match with the duel in the balance. You want Wyatt Hendrickson. But Lance Runyon, this is a guy that started his career at 165 pounds, is now a reasonably sized heavyweight who is ranked 15th in the country. It's a really pretty insane achievement by Lance, but he's not here to just, for a pat on the back. He's going to come out and wrestle. But there's just not a lot of safety with Wyatt Hendrickson. If you're attacking Wyatt, you're in danger. If he's attacking you, you're in danger. If you're underneath this guy, big problems. So there's not a lot of safety there, and that's why it feels like 5 or 6 for Wyatt Hendrickson is the likely outcome. So what is the path? I said there's a path for UNI. What is it? I think they need one of 25 or 33, right? They need one of those. Then they need to get 41. They need to get 57, 84, 97. That gets them to 5. But they also need to have the bonus advantage. That's what's going to be a big challenge. So it may take 6 wins. So where does that 6th win come? Well, 25 or 33, so you need to add that one in, and maybe 65. They pull the upset there. Thompson over Amin. Maybe Real Buto gets hot. One exchange can change things. But these matches are in the margins. I said there's 3 matches with a strong favorite. Every other one well within the margin. And not just when I talk about a competitive dual meet, you think of close scores and back and forth, but the product that both these teams bring is what has me most excited for this dual meet. You've got Oklahoma State and UNI. These are teams that work to score, high attack rate, really good scramblers, some top wrestling. You'll see a little bit of everything in this dual meet. I can't wait for it. I think UNI has a very real shot. Are they my pick? I'm going to say Oklahoma State gets it done. I think it's probably 6 matches to 4. But you're going to look back on this duel and be like, man, UNI really had a chance to do it. And maybe they're kind of the little engine that could, right? They are the team that sort of defies logic in, a sport that's got, Penn State and Iowa and Oklahoma State, Ohio State, these big brands. You've got UNI out in Cedar Falls, knocking off Nebraska, beating a lot of good teams. This is a team that's beaten Oklahoma State in the past at UNI. So you cannot put it past this team. Coach Schwab does an amazing job. But David Taylor and company are coming to Cedar Falls with bad intentions as well. Can't wait for this one. Make sure you're watching Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern. You can only watch it on FloWrestling or at UNI. Go to the duel, watch the duel. And I want to hear from you. Give me your predictions. How does this duel go down? Can UNI pull off the upset?